Hey guys, welcome to another fun and exciting Iron Mike GT Sports stream. This is finally we're into Gran Turismo 7. It's been maybe a few months now. I've been struggling with just the change and I've had a few ups and downs, so I haven't really streamed. So I'm finally back. Thanks for joining me. I've had plenty of practice. The Nations and Manufacturers has been over for a week or two or three, so I've had plenty of time to practice with this Toyota Cup. I'm in the BRZ. I think that's Subaru. The other one is the Toyota. And to top it off, I'm just going through a week of isolation with COVID, so plenty of practice. Got some pretty good lap times, and so that helped get my average lap time down. Qualifying first, I was very nervous in this race. I think sometimes I can over practice and always searching for a faster time, so when you do nail it, you then start trying to look for a fast time and get away from what you're actually good at. So I was, first few laps, probably more than half the race, I was quite nervous. I gave plenty of room there to Will Racing or Smart Pony 2 after hitting him. I didn't want to get first place from that collision, and secondly, I didn't want him to try and retaliate, so I gave him plenty of room there. There's quite a gap behind me, of course, in the rear view mirror, and still having faith in my own driving here. My lap times were pretty much 2 minutes and 11.06, I think it was, in the lead up to this race, beating some A drivers, or I think it was just A, not A+. So my lap times were pretty good, and just had to try and overcome the nerves. Just at the moment, I was just trying to control my breathing. I was so nervous, anything could go wrong, could overcook a corner, and just trying to really stick to what I've been practicing. And it's when you're practicing, there's no one else on the track, and you don't have to worry. If you stuff up, you can start again. This is it. This is the race. First race of the day of 3, and giving it my all. So normally you might be thinking, why are you starting up the front? I knew that this would be a race where starting at the back is not a smart move. No matter how fast you are, it's hundredths of a second between drivers. So a fast driver and a slow driver, there's probably, let's say, 1 second a lap. So to overtake someone is quite difficult. I did a lobby the day before, which gave me great experience. There was this, I think it was an A driver in front of me, and I was keeping up with him, but God, it was hard to try and work out how to get past. And so luckily I had experience at having to follow someone, and also the amount of practice I had, I pretty much knew where my brake points were, even if I was close behind someone like Will Racing here. Brake points and where the corner is, I had plenty of experience, so, and general confidence. I could be close to someone and brake just a hint before I normally would. See there, I just step out just in case he's braking a bit normally than what I would. Last thing I want to do was slam him up behind. Just keeping the pressure on and just trying to get myself into my rhythm. Best thing I could hope for at the moment is, with that pressure, he will make some mistake. Now, I think most people are getting around without any traction control or assistance. I did try it, and I found if I overcook the accelerator on certain slow corners, I could just spin the car quite easily and that would easily put me at the back. So putting traction control 1, the ASM anti stability management, I think it is, or automatic stability management, is on, and the I can't remember what the other one was called, but it was on strong. So pretty much all assistance on with traction control 1. I did start practicing this race 3 weeks ago, let's say, with traction control 2, but worked out I could bring it down to traction control 1. So Will, he's just left it all wide open on that turn 1, and has enabled me to just brake a touch later and dive in to the inside line and get first place. So you can see here the nerves. I should not be that much on the grass. Still, lap 3, I mean, he's very close to me, and the pressure, even this bit. Sometimes during practice I'd be just sticking it in 3rd and then gearing up to 4th. I watched a few of the top runners, and one guy was actually putting it in on the bend, putting it into 4th nice and early. I'd give it a shot, and it was a bit here or there, whatever worked. But every corner was just full concentration, trying to get the apexes right, braking right. And the tricky thing was, if I nailed a corner perfectly, that meant the next corner I'm actually approaching much faster than on average what I normally would. If I was hitting a corner slow, then the next corner would be slower, but then I'd have more stability to take the corner easier. I was generally happy with how I drove. Even here, it was like I really should be pushing a bit harder to get the back end to slide out and get it to rotate. And occasionally I'd be taking it a little bit cautiously, and instead of the back end rotating out, I'd have the front end understeering, taking forever to get around a corner. So in general, my lap times weren't brilliant. Just that, the nerves. I've said in the past, when I practice, I can get pretty good and nail it, but there's no pressure at all. But when it comes to race time, it's a different story. Mainly if I'm starting up the front, then the only way is backwards. So you've really got to put on a performance. Whereas starting from the back, there's no pressure at all. But again, I knew that this was not a race to even contemplate starting at the back. I'd make a lot of ground, I'm sure, but to be up the front would be... I'd probably finish 5th, let's say. You can see now there's a difference between my GT Sport and my GT7 races. I've got these big red brake zones showing up. When I first started this game, there are no cones anymore, which disappoints me. So without any brake markers, this was the next option, which I find is a bit disappointing. I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to step away from them and just look for other markers to give me a reference on when to brake. Not purely happy with them, but for me they are a slight advantage. There's quite a gap between myself, Will, and the group behind, so it really shows, you know, battling, focusing on other people is not good for your rhythm and pace. It's good to get out the front or just away from people. So when it came to qualifying, I just let everyone go, and it was amazing to see the pack all moving around together, which for me would be a huge distraction. don't think there's much slipstream in this race. I'd be tucked up behind Will, or Will is tucked up behind me, and there's not a great deal of progress for the person in the slipstream. So during qualifying, luckily, I just went out, I just waited for everyone to go, and I'd be about maybe half a lap behind. And because the lap times are quite slow, 2 minutes and 12, let's say, you've only got 10 minutes to qualify, so I thought I don't have much time to just cruise around and at the last minute put in a really good time. I decided I've pretty much got to do it straight away, you know, just in case something goes wrong and I just stuff it up. So I had to straight away put in my fastest time. So where we are just hitting lap 5. Yeah, and that was the other thing, just obviously, so for practicing I'd be doing a lot of the qualifying times throughout that 3 weeks to get a really fast time, and then I'd be shooting over to the custom race in Autopolis, putting in the settings like 1 times tyre, 1 times fuel, just to see all this tyre squealing, can the tyres last 10 laps, see how it handles, which I pretty much knew that I could treat the car pretty rough and the tyres will last the whole 10 laps without any real sign of wear. And then, like I said, near the end I started to actually try to enter lobbies to compare myself and to get experience with other people on the track. So you can see Will, he's made a bit of ground there, he's on my backside again. Obviously he's nailed a lap or two and I've maybe made a few minor errors. That's all it takes, a minor error, and someone is just catching up. But it's so difficult to get past. As long as I hold the racing line and cover the corners, it's pretty hard for him to get past. It's quite confusing during practice. That corner there, quite often I'd take it in second gear, full revs, and then up to third. Other times I'd be taking it in third, hoping that I'm holding the momentum, taking it in third, and then occasionally I'd see the blue arrow going up like I'm going faster, but other laps slower, so it wasn't really sure. So during the race I just stuck to what I practiced most, and that was in second, leaving this in third, trying to keep a straight line as much as I could, turning into corners knowing that the car will understeer a bit. This one just trying to get a bit of a snap steer to get a bit of a rotation. Not too much of a rotation, of course. I don't know if I've already done it, but with Will I occasionally moved off the racing line, just darted around a bit, because that's what he was doing with me, and it's something that annoys me. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, it's not illegal within racing, but I just wish people wouldn't do that. It slows them down, it slows you down. It's not good for anyone. Trying to get everything right and having faith that, like, a corner like that is so slow, but having faith that the guy behind you is going to be as slow as well, so not trying to push too hard all the time, rush your overcooked corners, go too wide, caught in an understeer slide. So you can see again, Will and I were actually quite far away from the main pack behind. I was quite impressed with his efforts, and I'm sure he's impressed with mine. It's almost as though this race, you've either got it or you haven't. You know, you understand the weight of the car and the layout of the track, the lines to take, or it's just rough as guts. Even here, just looking at my speed, so I knew exactly when to change gears at 78. I think Will would go up to 6th gear, whereas I'd just keep it in 5th and then down to 4th, 3rd. Trying to get this corner right. Every corner is pretty difficult. I don't think there's too many corners that are easy on this. This is not too bad, this one. There's plenty of lead up to it. It's quite clear and open, you can see the corner quite well. Just easing off on that first corner and then pushing hard on the second into here, then braking hard. Trying to rotate. Looking at those dark trees on the left there, as soon as I see them, start accelerating. And then just on this curve begin to lift a bit. And then into 4th. So just up in the grass a touch, just slowly opening up the wheel before the next corner. So I'm actually angling off the track but then slowly turning in, so sort of breaking that turn into 2. And even this one's tricky. I know to brake before the red markers, but you can't really see the apex until half a second later. So trying to get that turn in right. I'm pretty good on this corner, I like this corner. And then getting the speed right on this. Not coming in too hard, not braking too hard. Just carrying the weight nicely. Trying to get this bit straight. And turning into this corner, knowing there'll be a bit of understeer. To get it turned early so you can accelerate as quick as possible, and then getting this right so you can try and rotate the back end and start all over again. Like I said, I've Friday morning for work I have to do a rat test to test for COVID, and I've been doing that for the last few weeks, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I always thought I'd never get COVID, that, you know, I'm one of the people who would just keep working away and would just never get it. And Friday morning I did my test and getting ready for work, and there's 2 lines. I thought, my God. Personally I didn't believe it, so I did a second test and had to contact work. So I've got a whole week off. Plenty of time to practice for this, and the next race, I'm not sure when it is, but it's the Toyota Cup is at Fuji. I'll have plenty of time to practice for that as well. And how am I feeling with this COVID? Just a slight runny nose, and just, I think mainly my legs, my muscles just feel a bit sore, but I think that might be because I'm isolating, I'm not moving around that much. Just, my PlayStation's in the lounge, which is basically where my wife and daughter mainly, congregate in the kitchen and the bedroom, so I'm just sort of locked away in one bedroom, coming out occasionally to stretch my legs, prepare a meal, hop on the PlayStation for about an hour. But apart from the slight runny nose and the soreness in the legs, I feel okay. So lap 9, I've been holding off wheel, just slowly creating a gap. Now I don't know when I did that, but I got pole. I've got fastest lap there. That's 2 minutes 12 point something 8. Now final lap. And you kind of want to just relax and give it your all. The confidence is building. I can just really let it rip, but I had to remind myself I could still bin it, so I'd have egg on my face if I binned it now. So it's basically just slightly cautious. You can see it's over a second gap now between me and Will, so it was like he was residing to the fact it's just too difficult to catch up and overtake. And doing the race, it feels fast, mainly because you're on sports hard tyres. But looking at the replay, it just looks so slow. It looks painful. So to maintain concentration properly here, I'm just looking at split time, seeing it's a bit out of reach, and just sticking to my what I've been practicing, just sticking to the same routine, not changing anything, not getting too excited. The race is not over, and it's up to Will really to catch up and try and win it. Not for me to try and improve. I don't need to prove anything here, so just stick to what I know. But once again, like I was saying before, I was so nervous, and I'm guessing the first 6 laps, a lot of practice, a lot of anticipation for this race, and it paid off, luckily. Well, I did enjoy that. That was it for the night. Got some good points, and thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing your race. Please post them. I do enjoy watching them as usual, and looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.